I just named it Peace and Love because I feel like she's a
Peas.
theme. Peas, peas and hugs.
Hey, Bear, you're muted.
Good morning, live from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. It is Breakfast with Bearhart and his friends, Kirsten and Ricky. And how are you all this morning?
Peaceful and loving.
Peaceful and loving. I wonder why that is. And today we have a cat on synthesizer in space.
Amazing.
Yeah. And today is Ringo's birthday. And in 1 hour here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, in other places it's now, or it was an hour ago, or it was like many hours ago. The first video that we got, so Ringo posts these videos. People sent him videos of them celebrating his birthday, and he posts the videos. The first one we got was from Osaka, Japan, and that was like late last night, which was noon in Osaka. It's all very confusing. And my slide rule is in storage. So actually, I have no idea what happened to my slide rules. I used to have a couple of them, really nice ones, but I haven't really used them since the 70s. So that's a long time ago.
The clip is up.
Since we got pocket calculators, I do have, because we all love a good tangent, I do have one of my very first, it's not my very first, but this is one of my very first electronic calculators. This is an HP 16C. The 12C, which looks like this, the 12C is very, very common, and people still use them today in the financial world. It's a financial calculator. But this one was made for programmers. It was the 16C, and they only made them for a couple of years. And so I still have mine that I bought probably in the early 80s. And I still have it right here on my desk. I occasionally whip these out and use them. Because the cool thing about the 16C is it does really quick conversions between binary, hex, and octal, and decimal, and so it's kind of convenient for that, even today. Although now I have a calculator on my computer desktop that does all of that, so I'll use that.
So you said those stay on your desk, so they're always there.
There's a little cubby here on my desk right in front of me. Yeah. And here's the interesting thing. I don't know how they do this. They use so little power. They've got these little button cell batteries. It's got 3 of them. And I've changed the batteries, in 40, 50 years, I've changed the batteries maybe 3 times. I have no idea how they do that.
I thought it was like there's a little panel where it's like solar powered almost.
No, not in these. Not in these.
Okay.
It's got a little place back here, someplace. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So it's a little place up here, and you pull this little door open, and there's the batteries. It's 3 little button cell batteries, and a little diagram to tell you which way they go. It also has like a little cheat sheet on the back with all the functions that it does. This is probably the best-selling calculator in the history of calculators, the HP 12C, and they still sell them, and people still use them, like in banking.
You know what?
Finance.
I'm going to argue with you. I'm going to say that the iPhone is the best-selling calculator in the history of calculators.
Well, yeah, but it's an app, so you can't really say that the iPhone itself is the calculator. But it has that stupid calc app, which is almost entirely useless. Although I guess, you can use it for basic arithmetic. But I have one on here that I've used forever.
If you turn your calculator on your phone to the side.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It becomes like a TI.
Not quite, but yeah. It's one called P-Calc Lite, or I've probably paid for the upgrade, so it's not the Lite, but it was originally. which this is the one that I use the most. And it has, you can't really see it because it doesn't have a dark mode. Or if it does, I haven't discovered it, but it does like all kinds of conversions and stuff. It's very, very, yeah, you see, I probably did this already. Look for previous purchases. Okay, so that is all that. All right. Interesting thing in the news today. We've already gone off on quite a few tangents here this morning, and we will get to the peace and love in a minute because that's important.
Where do you go?
Yeah, pardon. Yeah, where's the hand? Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the hand. Oh, and it moved.
There it is. It's like a.
Ooh, and it gave me a notification.
How about that? Oh, we
That's
have
ridiculous. I
a
apologize.
chat message, don't we? Here,
Mhm.
Thoughts Bright. I know this name. We've had this person before. Yeah, they still exist. Oh, yeah, they do. And they, I mean, you know, besides the fact that I've kept my old ones, because these are all, I've got 3 or 4 of them down here from different era. But yeah, they still make the 12C. They tried to discontinue it, and the people revolted, and they tried to update it and change it, and the people revolted. And so now they're just making it exactly like they've always made them. And people buy them. They're like, I don't know, $100 on Amazon, and people buy them, and it still sells a lot. Yeah, Hewlett Packard, who'da thunk? Yeah, so there's this interesting article here. I'm going to try and bring it up. It's in The Verge, and it talks about the threads. I'm going to close that because it's super bright. It talks about the Threads app that Facebook, Meta, Instagram, whoever they are this week, that they launched a few days ago. So what this is, it's a Twitter alternative. That's what it's supposed to be, because people are hella pissed at Twitter. Go figure. You take away all the things that made something great, and you replace it with all the things that make something shitty, and people don't like that. Who'da thunk?
I was under the impression that Threads was more of like a Slack for like teams and stuff.
Oh, no, not at all. It's not targeted like that.
Okay.
See, with Slack or Teams, you or Skype, you know, you create your own little private domain for your organization. No, this is like Twitter. You post a thing and the whole world can see it. And it's lacking a lot of features. It's not fully built out yet. It's not, you know, they got all kinds of plans for it, but they launched the damn thing because they knew what would happen, and it did happen. So in the first 24 hours, they got over 30 million signups and over 95 million posts in the first 24 hours, and a lawsuit from Elon Musk. I mean, who would have expected that? So Elon Musk is accusing them of poaching employees and using trade secrets. Now, there's 2. Meta responded and said no former Twitter employees are working on this team. And they were very clear about that. And if that turns out to be true and documentable, then in fact the lawsuit is going to go nowhere. What is this one here?
I was going to send y'all that because that's what I found when I went to like do my Threads research after waking up to all of y'all's messages. So that's why.
Oh, I don't know what
it was just like
I don't know what that is. Okay, cool. So launch or leak. Oh, no, they launched it. It's officially launched and promoted. Yeah, this needs to get moved over here. I'm sorry, my every time I reboot my computer for whatever reason, install updates or whatever, it moves all my windows around, and it like relaunches. It opens all my windows, which is very kind of it, but it moves them around, and they're not where I expect them to be. And if you know anybody with my particular neurodivergence, which includes both autism and some form of CDO, I'm sorry, the Muggles call it OCD. I call it CDO because it's exactly the same thing, but the letters are in alphabetical order like they're supposed to be.
As they should be.
As God intended. So, yeah, I slip into my Texas drawl when I do that, don't I? As a good Lord intended. I love it that people in the South pronounce Lord as lard.
No,
which is what many of us think of the Christian God.
Where I'm from, it's Lort with a T instead of a D.
Lord.
Oh, Lord. Mm-mm.
And what part of Texas are you originally from?
The DFW.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, that's halfway to New York City. I mean, so the worst insult that you can give a person from Texas is to tell them that you think they're from New York City.
I don't think that's the worst, but it probably made the top.
My partner,
100.
when I was living in Texas, my partner, her family was from San Angelo, which is, as we all know, deep in the heart of Texas. So there's two things about this silly lawsuit from Elon Musk. One is, and at this point, it's just the threat of a lawsuit. I don't think he's actually filed it. I think he's sounding it out in the court of public opinion first, which I think is what means most to him anyway. So there's two things about it. One is that Meta claims, and I have no reason to disbelieve it, that no former Twitter employees are working on this project. And two, that it's hard to say that somebody poached your employees when you fired them.
Yeah, there's no poaching going on there.
Or drove them out, right? By like taking away all of their resources and, turning their work into a gigantic pile of poop. So, poaching is probably not the right word. And if some of former Twitter employees did go to work at Meta, and I don't doubt that they have, they probably spread all over the Silicon Valley and all over the tech world, that they're not actually working on that. And I think it would be absolutely stupid of Meta and unnecessary for them to use Meta employees, to use former Twitter employees on this project. That's like a clear conflict of interest. And I would be surprised if they actually did that. So there's all of that. Today is the 7th of July. The 7th of July is Ringo Starr's birthday. And here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, we are 45 minutes away from noon. And at noon, local time, wherever you are, the rule is, and this is a global rule, and I have deemed it, I don't know if Ringo agrees with me or not. I haven't spoken to him about this. And quite frankly, I don't have his cell phone number, if he even has one. But I have deemed it International Peace and Love Day, which I think is very, very appropriate. And I think there ought to be some international commission of international holidays. And this could be their first job, which would be to declare the 7th of July International Peace and Love Day. Because, and I've been saying this all my life. I'm what I call an OG hippie. I grew up in the 50s and 60s. I was a teenager in the 60s and 70s. I had long hair. I did all of those things that people think that, yes, all of the rumors are true. It's been said that if you can remember the 60s, you weren't there. And that is probably actually true. But and I remember very little of it. That's also true. But I'm an OG hippie, man. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. And if only y'all had listened, we wouldn't be in this damn mess. But there's, when I talk about my politics, and I know that this is on one of our podcasts, I have two guiding principles for my politics: help more people, harm fewer people. Right? Peace and love, peace and love. Stop fighting wars, end wars, don't participate in wars. I mean, unless it's absolutely positively necessary. I mean, if there's, somebody who's, like Hitler trying to kill all the Jews or something, then we got to do something about that. And, so, I'm not a pacifist. I mean, I'll pass a fist, but, uh,
Damn, that was good. That was good. That took me a second. That was good.
That one's been in the can for decades, man.
And now we're canceled. Good job.
Yeah, but no, but I believe that all humans deserve peace. All humans deserve peace and love. And if we would just, go to the effort, and sometimes it does take some effort to just open our hearts and actually love our fellow humans, we could just solve so many of our problems with that. I had a teacher who said that love is the irrational choice to put someone else's well-being ahead of your own. And I think that's as good a definition of any. It's not entirely selfless, and it doesn't have to be selfless. I can't take care of other people until I take care of myself first, which is why I'm going through this like horrible thing with the medication that just disrupts my life for a couple of days every week. And the rest of the time causes interesting gastrointestinal issues. But, I'm doing this so that I can take care of myself and be stronger and be healthier so that I can take care of those that I care about around me. And that is the very definition of love, at least, for this autistic kid. That's as close. I mean, I know that other people will write poetry and talk about, rainbows and butterflies and all that stuff. And that's fine. Y'all can have that. I love you. You may have whatever definition of love that you choose to have, as long as it, fits the basic fundamental, help more people, harm fewer people. All right. So peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. And happy birthday, Ringo, who has always been in my view, just call it the peaceful Beatle. The one who really held everything together, the more than just the heartbeat of the music, but really, I think, the heart of those four lads from Liverpool, and really very much the heart of the 60s and the time when I grew up. And I've always been a Beatles fan since I first saw them on the Ed Sullivan Show back in 1964. And they invaded the United States, just so much energy, such beautiful music, and they mostly sang about love. Their first few years, they were the prototypical boy band, and all they sang about was love and girls and heartbreak. Sometimes John wrote most of the heartbreak songs, and Paul wrote most of the, as he called them, silly love songs. That defined that part of my life. And and then there was the whole rival with the Beach Boys, and I mean, they had some amazing songs as well. And rock and roll and Jimi Hendrix and all of that came along, and I became a rocker. But that period of time really defined a lot of who I am to this day, 60 years later. So anyway, happy birthday, Ringo. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. There is no greater work, I think, than we could be doing. There you go. So peace and the
Love,
little
yeah.
Korean
K-pop heart.
heart thing with your fingers. There you go. I love that. So at noon today, wherever you are, and if noon is already passed, then just do it at the top of the next hour. You know, just be a part of that energy that fills the world with peace and love. All right. Tonight is game night. Am I right, Ricky?
That is correct.
And
We could do something peace and loving if you'd like.
Well, I can't think of anything more peace and loving than Jackbox game.
Yeah, that's true.
Surprise us.
Okay.
Surprise us. And
yay, we're gonna play Sims 4. No, but that would be so much fun.
I haven't played The Sims in forever.
Okay, so real talk, I actually never was allowed to play like the big girl Sims. I only ever had like, what was it? I don't remember what it was called, but it was like My Sims or Sims Friends or something like that. And it was like the junior Monopoly version of Sims for the Wii. And it was like these little Nintendo-esque characters, these girly pop. It was so girly pop. It was great.
it just occurred to me, is there an online Monopoly?
Dude, we'd have to be playing that for days, but yes, there is an online Monopoly. It's called it's called Facebook, Google, Amazon. It's called what's that? Fang? That's the online Monopoly.
Fang Monopoly?
No, I'm making a joke about how Fang is an online Monopoly.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
Okay, here, just a second.
There it is.
Thank you. I'll edit it so that you laughed at the right time.
Okay.
But yeah, I think there's an online Monopoly.
Yeah, maybe not today, or if you want to, we could do it. My family played a lot of Monopoly and fought a lot over it, and accused each other of cheating a lot over it, and it would just be a lot of fun. I joke that I'm undefeated at Monopoly, and it's not entirely true, but I do win a lot more than I lose.
Maybe we could start with something like Junior Monopoly, because I don't think that would take as long.
Perhaps. I have strategies.
I feel like this is a test where I will most likely be losing my job by the end of it.
I think it's unlikely that you'll lose your job, but you may very well lose the game. Oh, it's on.
I'm not okay with either of those options.
Oh, it is on. All right, so we have no idea what's going on tonight, but we will have game night, and it will be at 1800 Pacific, which is 6 p.m. for the Muggles, and whatever it is in your time zone, you can ask Google to figure that out for you, or Siri.
Monopoly Madness is on sale.
Oh, there you go.
It's 75% off. Oh my God, it's a sign.
Okay. You can put it on the business account.
Okay. The Game of Life is also available, just so you know, for the future.
Oh, that's fun.
That is always very fun. I agree.
It's not anything that I've ever enjoyed, but we can play it and see if I can.
No, that's okay. We could start with Monopoly. We could go straight for the big guns, and then we could probably play it over the course of several game nights, because
perhaps. In the meantime, can we set up like half an hour before to test and get all the technology?
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'll see you guys at 17:30, and for everybody else, we'll see you at 1800. We love you. Don't forget, 35 minutes from now, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Bearheart, Kirsten, and Ricky signing off. We'll see you later. Bye.